All right, thank you for joining us. This is a Carnegie Museum Spotlight, and I'm here with John Godwin, one of my fellow cohorts on the Carnegie Museum board. And we're just here to give you guys an update. That way you guys can keep tabs on what we're doing and how things are going over at the museum. If you haven't been into the museum, come in. Like, seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in that museum, and Jake absolutely loves telling everybody about all the cool, interesting artifacts that we have going on in there.
And we find something new every day.
Exactly. We're constantly finding things.
Constantly.
And that's thanks to, not only Jake, but Charlotte Wright and Art McBreen and other volunteers that we've had come in and help us with that stuff. We've got things hiding all over the place, which is part of this categorizing and archiving process that we've been going through fairly strong or really been our focus since January this year.
Right. We've really shut the top of the museum down quite a bit. Due to the fact that we needed some space to lay this stuff out, because a lot of it's been in attics and cabinets for decades.
Exactly. So we're opening up all those little cubbies and all those little hiding places that we had in the museum forever, and figuring out what things are, how they've been cataloged, how they've been done, and we're digitizing all that into a professional archiving system, and then that way we can make sure we've got the proper insurance and we know where everything is at, and it'll allow us to track these items through the museum as well. So if we move a display, we know that this item went over here, that item went over there, and just really being able to dial in on a professional level that I don't think the museum has ever really done in the past.
Yeah, and not to their fault. It's just that there's so much to categorize.
Well, I was going to say, there's so much. Two,
and the technology is so much better now.
Technology has changed, and then just operating through volunteers over the decades, things get shuffled around and moved and all sorts of stuff. So no fault to anybody in the past. But we've really kind of taken a cold eye as a museum in the last couple of years and really said, this is stuff that really needs to be done.
Yes, absolutely.
And in the correct professional manner.
Yeah, and it takes time.
No,
with the thousands of items that are in the museum that people need to come and see. It's going to be an ongoing process for a while, because every day items come in to Jake.
Well, I was going to say, not only do new items come into the museum occasionally, but just those discovery of those items and the process that has to go through. And then tying it in to the other artifacts that may have been associated with it.
Right. So, it's so much. It's so much. I'm glad I'm not doing it, because
so overwhelming.
I don't have the patience.
You hear us talk about it, and it's just like, and we have no idea.
So we're giving props to the people who are doing it.
Exactly.
As we thank them. And they're always needing more supplies. I mean, I remember recently we got a bunch of the clear plastic sheets. A lot of our cabinets are legal size. So if anybody has those green hanging file folders that are legal size, we need them. We need the legal ones. If you're just hoarding them, please bring them on to the museum.
We would love to have that donation.
That's right, and we love donations. It's budget season right now in Fairfield, and things are pretty tight for the city and in areas. Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it needs to be sometimes, and we're part of that process too, being in with the city, and so any donations to our foundation board would greatly help out, because we are coming up on a bit of a shortfall this year planned. So
and I want to say they're not only looking for those short-term donations, but even the long-term kind of giving. I forget what it's called, legacy giving, or I think there's another word for it that I'm missing. But yeah, so that ongoing support is what really helps the museum and its longevity.
Right. And like if someone passes away, there's a lot of times people will bring stuff in.
That's the word I'm looking for.
And you can endow things to the Carnegie Historical Museum. We've had some of those in the past, and they've greatly helped out with our new windows.
Oh, absolutely. And they're beautiful windows.
Yeah, they're UV protected, but we're still getting blinds put up as well, just because that that's south sun can really hit.
It can hit a little strong.
When it goes around there, it is strong.
So those blinds is a current project that we're currently doing, and working in conjunction with the foundation on that, and trying to make sure that they're historically accurate enough, but yet have the meet all the modern day standards that blinds have to meet for safety and things like that. Because last thing you want is some little kid pulling on something and something bad happening. So
and protecting those artifacts too. So
exactly,
they'll look nice in the room where we do the farm program,
which we've been handy too.
Yes, they will come in handy for our video shooting because it's blinding light there from the west.
Cameras tend not to like direct sunlight being pointed into their lens.
And we've taken a little bit of a break on the farm, Century Farm and Heritage Farm presentations, but we're coming back in April.
Yep.
Not November, April.
No, pretty sure. We're pretty sure that the date's in April. We had, just with being able to partially shut down that third floor. And then I think we had some illness-related cancellations that kind of came in. And so that should be kicking off that first week of April, and we'll be back rolling with that.
And we're still looking for farms.
I was going to say, we're always.
Golden Farms, 50 years plus in Jefferson County. If you would like to come in and have a display for a month and do a little program with us, you can go on our YouTube channel, Carnegie Historical Museum YouTube channel, and find the past ones if you're afraid or have apprehension of doing an interview. It's really nothing too big. And it's really cool. It's something your family will have forever.
Oh, absolutely. The Fairfield Media Center, we come in and we film that and record those talks, not only for the families but for historical reasons for our city and county, and those all get archived, but the museum stays open on those nights. They're the first Friday art walks. The talks usually start at 6 p.m. and then the museum, I believe, stays open till 8:30. Correct. Right, and you guys, everyone is invited to come up to the third floor. We have our lower gallery on the bottom floor open as well, and be able to tour the museum.
Do you think people all know that there's a lower gallery? I've heard people come in, they're like when I was a kid, we would go up and we'd have tours in school, and we'd all go up to the upper gallery, which now that I know, we only went through half of the upper gallery. We didn't have the other opened up to the kids when I was young. But now in our bottom herring gallery, we have Jefferson County history. We have all the townships. We have different local businesses, like going the first breathalyzer in Jefferson County, and just all kinds of neat things from the schools and the and the town and the civic municipalities.
I think one of the big things that I think even the museum kind of heard complaints about a little bit was, we have all this Smithsonian stuff, but where's our local stuff more? And so I think that's what kind of inspired putting that lower gallery together in such a way that it really centralized the local history of Fairfield. And it's one of the first things you hit now when you come, you come in the door. You get greeted by Jake, and Jake's either going to take you to that lower gallery first, or occasionally he'll take you upstairs and then hit that one last, depending kind of like how much time you have. But no, it's absolutely amazing. There are so many items in that little room.
And there's so many things in there we haven't put in. Like we obtained the lights from the Sunset Roller Rink, the police lights, which we would love. Then they're so big, and we would like to put them in the corners of that room eventually. So if anybody needs a project, an electrician or a carpenter would like to help us with that, that'd be really cool. Because they're in the back room right now. Nobody ever sees them.
I think we even joked, using the red one as a security light alarm. So that if somebody gets in, you'd see that throughout the entire building.
Oh yeah. What's
with the blind shut, possibly?
That's probably those things were bright back in the day. We couldn't obtain the crystal or the disco ball; it was gone. But at least we got those lights. We're pretty happy about that. So, and Jake actually, his office has moved to, as soon as you walk in the museum down the steps, it's right in our old sales room. We've kind of combined our sales room and Jake's office. So it flows so much better.
It really does. And part of the reason for doing that was to try to maximize our space for doing the archiving and cataloging and research and everything that goes into that. There are a lot of times you got to have table room. You got to be able to lay this stuff out and be able to look at it from a larger perspective. and making some of those arrangements just really, really worked well.
Yeah.
And the store is still there. We still have items in the store. And so you guys are more than happy to come in and peruse the items that are still there. And, just know that is a shared office space area now. So there are things that you probably shouldn't peruse in there.
Don't grab anything off Jake's desk.
Don't be grabbing anything off Jake's desk or along the opposite wall. But no, it was, I think, a really good idea to try to maximize all that.
Yeah, there's just so much more room for cabinets. And speaking of stuff, we got with Andy Hallman of the Southeast Iowa Union paper. And they have moved over here to the CoLab now.
CoLab is a happening place.
CoLab's a happening place, just like the museum. And we got some things they called the morgue. It was some old articles it was 2 big cabinets full of old articles and pictures.
Yeah, I was going to say, I even perused through a little bit, found some of my own family articles in there. So it's a really cool thing to have access to.
And we got one of the original Fairfield Ledger machines that you get the paper. The coin operated
newspaper dispensers.
Yeah. So we have that over there now, and it was a big help. We got some furniture, we got all kinds of stuff that really helped out over there. So we want to give props to Andy.
We are a living legacy of Fairfield, and so
that's right.
So no, if you find old items in some of these old stores and things like that while things are moving, and you don't know what to do with it, definitely give us a call. We'll head over there. We'll figure out if it's something that has value, is worth keeping, and go from there.
Absolutely. And wanted to point out one of the cool upcoming things we're doing right now. And Jason has a part of this, and we're going to be launching a new website.
Yes,
our website had a tour on it from 8 years ago or something like that. And things have changed a little bit since then.
A very old virtual tour that unfortunately.
And like we said before, it wasn't the people that was there. It was the technology. We just didn't have technology. Mm-hmm. We have QR codes now. What are we going to be doing with the QR codes?
So the QR codes, the QR codes is the big rave right now. Mm-hmm. And, it's been building over time. And you see them more often, type thing. And so one of the things to help alleviate manpower at the museum is to be able to have the option of doing self-guided tours.
Yes.
And so, let's say somebody comes in, Jake's already given a tour, but you still want to explore the museum. Well, we're gathering all the knowledge from Jake and our research files and things of that nature. And so you'll be able to look for an owl printout that has a QR code on his belly. So look for the Carnegie logo, and you'll be able to spot them on the display cases once we launch that, and be able to scan it and be able to go into more detail on the items that are in that display case and their history. Everything from like how they ended up at the museum, why those artifacts even exist, and then, kind of their history of that item. And so definitely more detail than you might even get in the tour itself in some degree. But those will be hosted by our new website.
Right.
And so you'll be able to go take your phone. I think we've even talked about maybe even having a tablet in-house for those who don't have mobile devices who are unfamiliar with them. Then you can be shown how to take a self-guided tour. Right. It's a fun little thing. I'm sure it's going to come into play, when we have, school-age kids in here and things like that. So no, it's a nice thing to be able to fall back onto and utilize when you have more people than we can sometimes handle at one time.
Yeah, which happens a lot when there's one Jake.
Exactly.
And Jake Schmidt is who we're talking about. He's our curator at the museum. He's a great guy and just really...
We could use 5 of them.
We could. I don't know if we could handle 5 Jakes, but we could use them.
We could definitely use them. That is for sure. So, like I said, there's no shortage of... us looking for people to help volunteer.
Right. If you would like to become a volunteer at the museum, you could see Jake Schmidt. And actually, let me give him his number. It's 641-472-6343. And there's a process you have to go through. We can't just have anybody come and be a volunteer. You have to do a background check and things like that.
Yeah, we do have a form that we'd like to have you fill out here at the museum.
Yep.
And basically, it's kind of like an application.
Yeah.
That way we get your information, we can do the proper background checks, and make sure you're a cool person to have around in a professional manner. So
absolutely. So Yeah, but we're always looking for volunteers. Then that'd be great.
And hopefully that process becomes even smoother with the launch of our website when that goes public.
I think so too, because then they can go around and explain some things that people that may not be all QR'd yet, because it's going to take a while. Just like doing the artifacts, it's going to take a while to do all the videos and the QR information. So another thing we're talking, with all the shortfalls and the new budgets and everything, we're always needing donations. We'd like to let you know that you could do that, give to the museum through our foundation, the Carnegie Museum Foundation. And you also just need to talk to Jake and pick up a form at the museum. And I think there's a way to download it on the old website, maybe not the new one yet.
Yeah, currently. Our current website that's currently up, which I'm missing the address at the moment. I think it's Jefferson County Heritage
I believe
.org, I believe, and we have a tab on there that you can go to, and there is a form on there, a PDF form that you can download and print it, download, fill it out, and then turn it in person. Type thing. We will currently have that same option on our newer website. Eventually, we will also have the option to have that digitally.
Gotcha.
Is what one of our goals to have on there. That way, the more convenient it is, the more options people have.
Yep. And as much as we ask for money and things like that, we really want you to get into the museum.
Absolutely.
You just got to come and see what it's all about. And then
it is a wonder in of itself.
Yeah, because you don't want to just give mamby-pamby to anybody.
Exactly. You want to
see what it's going for and all that. We do have some upcoming things this summer. I know Jake is in the process of booking class reunions. A lot of times the class reunions will have a dinner at night or a golf outing or something, but during the afternoon, there's really nothing going on. Or the morning, what we've been doing the past 3 years now, I think, or so.
I want to say about 3 years.
About 3 years is we've been having different classes come in, and this can be Pekin High School, Fairfield High School, Cardinal. It's Batavia.
I don't know if we've ever set a range limit on a class reunion.
Right. You could have, Libertyville High School, Lockridge High.
We're welcome to have any and all visitors.
Yes, that's right. So. And but it's kind of a neat thing. The classmates can come together. We have the yearbooks from 1931 on up to now.
I think we have all of Parsons for sure, and I want to say
I think we've
got to be close to having all of Fairfield.
We'll have yours though
already.
If you didn't graduate in 1923, we'll probably have your yearbook.
Well, there's a chance we might even have that. So
yeah. So, but that's kind of a neat thing. People can come and gather and things, but you need to call Jake and get that on your agenda for your reunion.
It's a destination spot. So
it is, and you can come see the buffalo.
Exactly. The buffalo head is still here.
The buffalo head is exactly where it was when we knew it as the library, and that thing would scare us when we went to check books out. That thing is still there, and I know Joe Hunt is part of our foundation board. He had his whole family come, and they all got a big picture taken in front of the buffalo head for Christmas when they came by. So
pictures are more than welcome.
Absolutely.
And not only can you come back, relive a memory, but maybe even share that memory to a future generation.
Yeah, with your kids, bring your kids in, and yeah, it's a real nice place to meet.
And that buffalo head was redone here a couple of years ago.
Right.
So it's been all spruced up and taken care of.
Yep. It's picture ready.
Exactly. Picture ready.
And I think one more upcoming event we're having, and it's in September, so it's going to be a while yet. But Friday, September 26th, the Red Flag Horseless Carriage Motor Tour is going to come and be in Fairfield this year, and Carnegie Historical Museum is hosting that.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's cars from pre-1920, and they said that they get cars from multiple states. And occasionally a 1913 Bugatti worth about $3 million comes to this event. So we're hoping that happens.
If there's any reason to come to that event, that alone to see that would be worthwhile.
Yep. And then coming on in the museum and enjoy it. So it's going to be a good time.
I want to say during our, the Fairfield History Series films, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I want to say Dr. Clark, who ran the
First Hospital. Oh, the pharmacy.
Well, I can't remember if there was a relation there. I want to say there was, whether it was a son or the father or whatever. But I want to say Dr. Clark was one of the first people in Fairfield
to have a car.
own a car. And so
I believe there's a picture of it.
I want to say, I think there's a picture here in the museum of it being parked up on the square during a parade type event.
Gotcha.
And you can see the old light tower, the old arc light tower and all that in the picture as well. So we've got a lot of history.
We do. It is very cool. This is a very cool place to come see.
So no, that'll be an awesome thing to have. Do we know if that's going to be on the square? Is it going to be down here?
Don't know
by
yet.
the museum?
We'll get more details in the summer when it's coming up. That way we'll get them from Jake, and he's kind of coordinating the whole thing. So.
On that note, knowing that there are more details coming, get plugged into our social media.
Absolutely.
We are constantly posting new things on our social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or X. And you can go on there, search, Carnegie Historical Museum, Carnegie Museum. That's going to point you in that direction. Again, look for that owl. That's going to be our logo design on there. And get in touch, with us. That's the easiest way to find out what's going on is through our social media platforms.
Like and subscribe.
We're
also on YouTube as well. We have our YouTube channel that this is on right
channel.
now. Actually,
I know the Fairfield Media Center. Myself, we helped get that set up for you guys. A lot of the content is hosted on the Fairfield Media Center's YouTube channel at the moment, and then playlists are associated with the Carnegie's YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
And so we definitely want you guys to go there, follow it, like it, and help start boosting the views on that page through that page.
Yeah.
Because at some point, hopefully Fairfield Media Center will be handing off, and the Carnegie Museum, when they start creating their own content, will have a pre-made dedicated spot to go ahead and host those videos.
Yeah.
So once again, get in on the ground floor, get in on all the action, and be a part of the fun. And I mean, I know when I joined the board, I'm not sure I was ready even for the wild ride that ends up happening with everything that goes on.
Well, yeah, and when I joined, I knew I was going to be part of doing some of the media stuff because I had in the past working for the radio station decades ago now. But I've really enjoyed it so far, and it's just if you enjoy something like that and you would like to help out with us too, that's fine with us. And
I was going to say, I mean, we do a lot of work, but at the same time, we have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. And we've got 2 intern board members that will be stepping up on the board, I want to say here in May, June, somewhere in there. And, they've been with us now for, I want to say, at least 6 months. And they're loving it. They're excited to be a part of it. So, like I said, there's a lot going on, and we tend to have fun.
Yeah. Come in and see us. That's a definite. Because you're never going to understand what you're going to see.
You never know what you're going to find, who you're going to bump into, all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
But anything else on our agenda?
I think that was it on our topics for today. So.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you guys for joining us for another Carnegie Spotlight. And we'll be back with you here in the next couple of weeks with another great update.